Hey guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, remember to hit that bell for notifications for when we drop new videos.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
What's up, you sack of cock rings? You're muted, my homie. Cheers.
Cheers. Hello, everybody.
That's the way to start off a show.
That's the way definitely to start off the show.
Strong like bull.
And Cassie, I agree with you. 100%. 100%.
Well, you never know. You never know.
You
And
never
I think
know.
things have changed.
Well, one big factor made things change here pretty recently. Well, not recently. Well, especially in Missouri. Well, no, Kansas. Sorry, not Missouri.
Can't hear me.
Can't hear Dave. You turned yourself down, didn't you?
No, I didn't. You can
Well,
hear me, right?
I can hear you because I. So here's the thing, the intro super loud. You really quiet.
All right. How about now?
I think you sound good to me. What about Cassie or Kelly? Sorry,
Kelly, does that sound better?
Cassie couldn't hear you either. So neither could Heather.
Well, Jesus.
You mess
All
with
right,
your
how about
settings
now,
too
then?
much, Dave. Jeez.
Jesus.
I
Y'all
mean
need
Tom
Jesus.
Cruise. Sorry.
Help me, Tom Cruise. Help me, Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah Winfrey.
That's better. That sounds better.
We're trying out some stuff because we noticed that our sound's a little off sometimes. when we
Yeah.
go back and listen to the podcast. I'm a little louder. He's a little quieter. So we just try to make it a little better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like we got somebody wanting to collaborate over on Kick.
Nice.
So what's up on Kick? If you
Kick,
guys are watching
hello.
there, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Um,
Where we talk about all things weird, fun, fantastic, and sometimes not so friendly.
so I'm going to throw this out there right now, guys. I don't know what is, well, I know what the precursor to this is, but has been. The NFL season this year has been, and we are obviously going to be talking about something that has really hit the fan as of late. So, if you're here for us, stay here for us. We'll get into our subject pretty soon. But first, Charles, how was your week?
My week was fantastic. The Chiefs are going to the freaking Super Bowl again.
Let's flip for it.
Let's flip. Oh, sure, right. No.
You
We
win
need
or
to
lose.
decide. So it honestly, I don't care that the rest of the world hates us. The rest of the United States hates us. It feels good to be this good. We've gone through so many years of just dog poo. It feels good to be this good. And Dave, one day the Bears will have their day. The Bears will have their day.
That day is coming this next year if, and I'm going to say it, if they keep Justin Fields. Do
I was
not
gonna say.
draft Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
Do not. I see red flags there. But
I know.
yeah.
To me, I thought you were about to pull a Cowboys. It's our year.
It's gonna be our year. It's going to depend on what we do in the offseason.
It's gonna depend on what you do with Dak Prescott. That's
It's going to
for
depend on what
freaking
they
sure.
write for us.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. But no, my week has honestly been great, and I am going to Vegas. I'm not going to be at the stadium. I won't be in the game, which I mean
Womp
that's
womp.
way too much money. That's way too much money.
Yeah.
Way too much. But
You can sneak in.
yeah, I'm sure
It's
that
Vegas,
would go over
dress
well.
up as a
Just-
showgirl.
Right. Right.
It's part of
well,
the halftime ceremony. Going to
I'm
get
just-
sacrificed.
I'm here for the. Oh god. I'm here for the trafficking. What?
Oh,
What?
no.
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's my
knows
van
that
parked
happens.
over there.
Yes. No, everybody
We're
knows.
just tailgating, guys. That's,
Everybody knows there's always scandals around Super Bowl. There's always scandals. Always. It's one of the biggest collections of money and I would say billionaires in general, and like people who can afford all sorts of crazy stuff. But no, my week was pretty freaking solid. It's been a good week. I'll say that.
Good.
Yeah. How about you?
It's been good. Getting a lot done.
Hey.
So last week I got to officially announce that Malvern Manor is the first location booked for the Midwest Mystery Tour. That is going to be in May, on May 24th.
One of our favorite spots. And it won't be cold this time.
No, I'm making sure of that.
You know what? I can't remember the last time I've been to Malvern, and it's not like late fall or winter.
And having weird weather.
Right. Always.
So hopefully May, Mayflowers, all that good stuff. Hopefully we have great weather for it.
I'm hoping so.
Although I do kind of wish for like a late night thunderstorm. That'd be badass.
That'd be cool. Get some little energy flowing through there. Like the thunderstorm that we hit when rolling up there last time.
Yeah.
Or we thought we were hitting a tornado.
I think we did hit a tornado.
Are we in a tornado while we hear this underneath the car? I don't think that's the storm. But the wind, you couldn't see anything.
Dude, I could barely stay on the road.
Yeah, I know. That's scary.
But we do have another one booked. I haven't published it. You guys are going to hear it first.
Wait,
right
another one? I thought we had two.
The other one's got a little hiccup, but we're working on it.
Angel May is definitely Nader season. Yeah, yep.
Nader season. Yeah.
She right. All right,
Or
so we
Natter
have
season.
one completely officially
One is
booked.
officially booked.
Okay.
And that one's going to be in September, though.
Oh.
It's going to be on Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
At McIntyre Villa.
Perfect.
Yes.
A week before my birthday.
There you go. Look at that.
Well, 10 days before, but who's counting? It's fine. It's right about. Gosh dang it, Heather.
Tell her to hold it in. Put a cork in it.
But it's due. Doesn't mean it's due that day. It could be
Yeah.
due, but it could happen before or after. You never know,
Yeah.
Heather.
Yeah, Heather.
You never know.
Yeah. The other one I'm working on, well, we've got the date and everything. All that's fine and dandy. It's just I have to come up with they want insurance for it, for the event
Well,
insurance.
that makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
I have to get that.
Yeah,
But
makes sense.
the other one is going to be on May 11th.
Let's do it.
And this one is an outdoor one.
Outdoor.
It's also a museum.
An outdoor museum?
With over 100 buildings.
What?
Yeah.
Is it the one? I think I know where it's at. I think I know where it's at.
Where do you think is that?
I'm not gonna. Are you
I'm
gonna
gonna
actually
say
announce
it,
it
yeah.
today?
I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay. Is the
say
place in Arkansas that you were talking about?
No.
Okay. Well, there was some village place that you were going to investigate last year, but it kind of fell through.
Oh, no. That's not in Arkansas. But it is the same place.
Oh, okay. I thought that was in Arkansas.
Nope. That's it.
Oh.
This one's in Grove, Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma Grove.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, great.
Harbor Village in Grove, Oklahoma. We did an episode on haunting history there.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
And we are going to do one of these.
100 buildings.
Yeah.
Whew,
There's over 100 buildings there.
that's a lot.
Over 500,000 artifacts.
What?
Ranging from Native American to local history. And all these buildings are old historical buildings that they've found around the country and just brought them there.
That's really cool.
Yeah. But we did catch some good stuff there, man. We got voices and some good EVP. There's sections if you have a creepy doll fetish, then there's a building full of frickin' dolls.
Count me out.
Saloon. There's a saloon, a
cool.
gallows, a jail, everything you can think
Those are
of.
the top three I want to hit. Saloon, gallows, jail. Done. I'm set.
Yeah. Maybe not in that order.
Yeah,
Saloon, jail, and then gallows.
There we go. Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
Who wants the dead man in jail? Nobody.
Yeah. So those ones are set.
Yes.
And I will be doing the Eventbrite ticket sales will go up soon.
Okay.
But the ticket sales are already up for the Malvern event. So if you want to go to the Malvern event, the sooner you get them, the better.
And
Because you don't want to miss out.
are we okay? Can I if I could say this, Is Josh going to be there?
In Malvern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's a good, all you Josh lovers out there.
In fact, we were going to do an earlier date, but he's going to be at another place. That
The
date,
18th,
so-
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, let's just bump it because I'm like, I want you there. You have
Yes.
to be there.
Yes.
I want my revenge for that hide and seek game. Damn it.
Oh, gotcha. That's
Remember?
our hide and seek game. I got you. I was a little confused.
Yes.
Can I make one suggestion? So I know you've got like different experiments and everything planned.
Do I?
But for any newcomers that show up to Malvern,
Mhm.
we've got to do the doorway experiment in that hallway again.
Yes. Any special guests at McIntyre? I haven't even gotten that far. We just literally just like okayed it this morning. So
Wait. Oh, McIntyre. My mind
Yeah.
went to Malvern. I didn't read McIntyre. I'm sorry. Hey, Stephanie's a special guest enough. I'm just saying.
yeah,
She's a bundle of joy.
she's special.
Dude, what did she say? She made a post on Facebook or something. She said that she said something about like, oh, it was like a DoorDash or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she went to reach for the food and she saw a dog. And she's like, oh, like a pet, like, can I pet your dog or whatever? And she's like, yeah, just be careful, he licks. And she's like, same.
I expect nothing less.
I was gonna say at this point, I just expect the crazy stuff to come out.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's not even that crazy. Like it's just Stephanie.
Oh, Cassie's boycotting certain people. Paradrama.
Wait, what? Okay, well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. You'll have to give me a list.
Yeah, that way we know not to put them on the list.
And then I'll call them out.
Ooh. Big
I'll
time.
be like, Cassie hates you.
And you're dead to the world now.
She didn't want to
Not
tell you,
sorry.
but I'll tell you.
Exactly.
No, we've got a few places set up now.
Cool.
Getting on a roll with this thing, you know.
Absolutely.
But,
Makes it. I mean, it's almost February.
well, I'm gonna be stretching this out, and
Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you, work is so freaking scared.
And
Like they're scared that I'm going to leave work, like and do this and not come back.
well, I mean, this is kind of your passion. I'm just saying.
It's my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my thing
yeah.
too. Get it.
And
Yeah,
I
just
also
so David
have
can
some
book
places,
them all.
I also have some places that I'm starting to book for filming as well.
Nice.
So that's cool. Also, April 20th, guys, you want to come see Charles and I here. We're going to be at McIntyre Villa for On and Soul Society's event.
That's right.
You can get your tickets for
big.
that on Eventbrite as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then something big's happening in September. The end of September. I will tell you about that. I'm not sure if I can, say
Is it a
yet.
different group?
Huh?
Is it a different group?
Am I doing a different group?
No. Is it from a different group?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I will be able to. I'll let you guys know when I know if I can. But something's coming up in September that we'll definitely push
Dude,
here.
I'm gonna have to start writing dates down and start putting them off in the request off because I'm just like, oh yeah, we're doing this. Oh yeah, we're doing this. Oh yeah, we're doing this. Like,
You do whatever you do, you boo.
I'm gonna make sure it's there.
I've got to get a big pad, like one of those desk calendars, so I can.
There's a thing called a cell phone that's got a
Yeah,
calendar,
I've got them in
right?
there,
Okay,
but
great.
that doesn't help me.
No, you're right. It doesn't. You're right. Absolutely. I mean, it can, but whatever.
Like I don't know. There's something about like having to go in there and look it up and do all this
Yeah,
crap.
like when
where
you
I can just
walk
look
in
down.
and see it.
And like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the visual representation of the month and days and stuff. So that's being worked on and being settled.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been going on. That's what's been going on, guys. See?
Yes, and we're gonna in March. We're gonna be I'm gonna be roaming around the floors of Planet Comic Con here in Kansas City. So
I'm going.
I cannot
I
wait
am
for that.
freaking going.
Yeah,
After that
especially 'cause
announcement
this-
today?
especially the latest announcement, the lead
Yeah.
singer of Ice Nine Kills. Let's go. That like just completely
Sealed it.
threw me for a loop. Well, no. I mean, it was sealed with Matthew Lillard. Don't get me wrong, but
Sorry, Neff Campbell.
Right. But having, like, I was not expecting like a band member of anything, honestly.
What
but
was
it makes
it,
sense with him being a horror, like, yeah, no.
theme.
You know.
Yeah. I think it was 4 years ago, they had Alice Cooper out there. So
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
he is short, by the way.
Well, it's also Alice Cooper. Like, it's Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Like,
I seen him. I got to see Alice Cooper in person.
good.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I'm wondering
talk
what
to him.
crazy shenanigans we're going to get into this year.
No,
Talk to more people, get some more, I don't know, might
Line
do a
some
couple
guests up.
interviews or something. Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe we can get somebody like Matthew Lillard to ghost hunt with us.
That'd be insane.
McIntyre
Where-
Villas in Atchison, Kansas, Heather.
It's a hop, skip, jumping away from Kansas City.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, no. Matthew Lillard ghost hunting would be
That'd be dope.
pretty badass.
I would kill if he was zoinks. Like, just,
Does that, or like says one of his lines from 13 Ghosts.
ugh.
Oh yeah.
I might have to bring an extra pair of clothes just in case.
Whoa, buddy.
What?
Extra socks.
Extra socks. That's right. Extra socks. Or like just have a T-shirt of like Shaggy's face. That'd be perfect.
Oh, no.
Just a big smile, just on the shirt, like the Josh Hurd shirt.
Yeah.
Have you heard?
Have you heard?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to wear that to the Malvern event.
Do it.
I'm gonna.
Do it.
Like, so if you guys haven't heard about this new club, or it's not new, this club, you know.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a new club.
Yeah. Oh man. Brian Murray was gonna watch tonight because he and I had a conversation this morning about the NFL and stuff. I told him I'm like, yeah, we're gonna just talk about this because
Absolutely.
I made a funny, and
You made it funny.
I made it funny. He didn't want me doing it on his paranormal page, but I did.
Okay.
On his paranormal page, they were asking like, what is a ghost? And I said the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh my God.
Because they like totally ghosted
That makes total sense.
So he messaged me about
God, dude.
hey. And in all fairness, you know, Brian was second to last, or he was at the bottom of our fantasy league. So,
Well, okay.
so you know, it is what it is.
It is. It is absolutely is what it is. I don't even know where to go from here.
Let's just get into it, eh?
Let's get into it real quick. Let's
All right,
get
guys.
into it.
So everybody has their complaints about the NFL, which
Yes.
is fair, absolutely fair. Because let's be honest, the refereeing over the
Oh
last
my God, dude.
5 to 10 years has been ridiculous.
Yes.
So ridiculous. Like there's actual moments from 2 years ago that I remember clearly, and I always bring them up. And I'm gonna play you guys one of them, and this is just kind of to show you the level of crap that I've had to put up with as a Bears fan. So a couple years ago, Bears are playing the Steelers on Monday Night Football, and Cassius Marsh, who used to play for the Steelers, was now on the Bears, and he gets a sack, right? He then just stares down the Pittsburgh Steelers sideline, right? He didn't taunt or anything. He just stares him down for like a few seconds and goes to run back to the sideline, to the Bears sideline. Well, the ref decided to call a penalty on that and say he was taunting. But then, before they threw the flag, though, as he's running off field, the ref decided to do something. So check this out.
Marsh makes the play again, just elevated.
I think it's pretty clear to everybody who saw it that I wasn't taunting. And, like, you know, I've been doing the celebration my whole career, and, you know, it's just sad to see stuff like that happen in a close game like that. It's just rough, man. I don't want to say too much because y'all know how it is, but the one thing that I will say is, you know, on my way to the sideline, I got hip checked by the ref, and it's pretty clear. if I were to do that to a ref or even touch the ref, we get kicked out of the game and possibly suspended and fined. So I just think that was incredibly inappropriate, and that's all I'll say about that.
Really felt that he was directing.
Here, watch this again.
No, he's already reaching. Foul had already taken place.
Okay.
Yeah, that's some horse malarkey. All he did was just like back up and do this. Literally.
I mean, I was livid after that game.
I bet you were.
We were going to win that game.
With your team? Yeah, I bet.
And that penalty gave the Steelers a first down and allowed them to continue that drive, which sealed the game.
Of course it did.
We were going to win that game. Oh, it pisses me off. And this is the frustration that a lot of fans have with the NFL and have had for years now. And it's really blown up this year, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely blown up this year. And there's been so many, and I'm not saying this just because, like there's been so many questionable calls with each team where you look at the call and it's like, how is that even a thing? But then obviously there is calls where, okay, that makes sense. Like, there are still some good refs out there.
Yeah.
There's still some good refs. But there's some that let their either personal feelings get in the way or money get in the way, it seems like. Because it is just blatant, it's stupid, and there's nobody to challenge the refs.
Exactly.
Nobody.
They don't get fined or suspended or
It's
nothing
ridiculous.
like that. So kind of sticking with this Bears thing.
Yep.
A few years ago, I think it was 2018. This is the first time I've seen anything of this sort. Okay. Former Rams running back and Bears running back, Benny Cunningham, had put out a tweet. And this is what the tweet said. He said, "The NFL is scripted, but they make us sign something so we can't go into detail. Tired of holding back. Who wants the full story?"
That's interesting.
Yeah, just out of the blue, he tweets this.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one that's come out and said anything. We'll get into some of these other players and stuff like that.
Of course.
But what I'd like to focus on to start this off, though, like, is the information that's coming out now. These theories, these pictures, and things like that. So the first, this is probably the most common one, right?
Okay.
Is the Super Bowl logo theory that was out there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The last three. Or the last two, and then this year's, right? So the last two, let's pull this up.
Oh my God!
The colors indicate the teams that are going to play, and the ones with the least amount of colors are the ones that won. So then this year's was supposed to be the purple and red, which everybody's like, oh, it's going to be the Ravens and the 49ers. And even this picture popped up and became circulating. It was from a news thing, where they're talking about the halftime show for the 49ers and Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl.
I think somebody just messed up. Or they were like, yeah, wishful thinking.
Possibly. But let's just say the NFL is scripted. If you've already got this script out and, these two teams are supposed to be in the Super Bowl, but now everybody's like, what the hell, man? We know these teams are going to be in the Super Bowl. And if they are, it's going to prove the whole scripted thing is real. If you're the NFL, what are you going to do? You're going to change that, right?
Yeah, you're going to flip the script. My sister made the same point.
And if you're in bed with Vegas, then you don't want to change too much that you lose. You want to minimize the loss of money.
Right.
So let's just take one team out of the equation.
Yeah, I guess.
Right?
The Ravens.
I mean,
because I will say, I know, not necessarily for a fact, that the entire NFL fan base, aside from Chiefs fans and San Francisco fans, have been saying that this is the worst possible outcome that the league could have done. Right? Like, honestly, I would have been so happy with Detroit and Chiefs. I would have been so happy with Detroit and Chiefs. I would have loved to seen Detroit and I would have loved to. Yeah, I would have loved to see them go head to head because I've been saying this entire
same
playoff
here.
that if the Chiefs lose, I'm going to root for Detroit 100% because they deserve every inch of that Super Bowl win for their hard work this season. Like they have come back in a big way, and I'm not afraid to say it. Being a Chiefs fan, I'm really not.
That would have been a great revenge game. The Chiefs
Yeah.
and Lions, because the Lions beat the Chiefs in Week 1.
Yeah,
The
exactly,
Chiefs were
dude.
without
Oh my
Chris
God.
Jones.
Yes. Well, how about this though? The last time we played the Ravens beat us.
Revenge.
This was our Super Bowl.
But now, we were talking before the show, and if this is like WWE where they have storylines and stuff, I mean,
Yeah.
right now, there's two possible storylines that would have been like amazing.
Yep.
The Lions winning the Super Bowl would have been phenomenal because they don't win anything.
Right.
And then you've got this Brock Purdy kid who is the very last person drafted 2 years ago, winning the Super Bowl. Mr. Irrelevant, going to the Super Bowl now.
I'm gonna put in one big fact that nobody ever saw coming, and that is that Taylor Swift made it to the Super Bowl before the Cowboys did.
Her first season in the
Her
NFL.
first season in the NFL, and she makes it to the Super Bowl. Oh my God! Can I throw a crazy statistic out to you right now? Statistic.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so the reason why the media in the NFL is milking this Taylor Swift thing, and in my 2 cents, honestly, I don't care for her music. I'm not the biggest fan, but I am happy that two people have found love. I don't care. I do find it annoying that the media does bring her up a lot. But here's the crazy statistic. Taylor Swift has generated an equivalent brand value of $331.5 million for the Chiefs and the NFL. That amount includes TV, highlights, social media, print, and digital going back to Swift's first game in September.
Jesus Christ.
And you wonder why the media keeps putting her on the screen.
How is she
The
not at the
NFL.
Super Bowl halftime show?
Dude, I don't know. I think that'd be a little.
Much?
Yeah, if it was scripted, that would be a little. Now, if she makes a special guest appearance with one of the current artists that are there, I wouldn't be surprised. At this
that's
point, I
true.
would not be surprised.
Right.
But that's crazy. That is, again, I am annoyed at the media, but I'm not annoyed with her or their relationship. I don't care personally. It's their relationship, whatever.
So I do want to point out one other thing here with those Super Bowl logos.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to completely.
No, you're
divert
good.
there.
You're good. So on these ones, like I said, the team with the least amount of color on these logos have
Right.
won. So if Vegas has something to do with the outcomes, right? And if you're pushing an idea, agenda, if you think about advertising, psychological advertising, if you want people to bet on a certain stat line, you're going to subliminally influence that.
True.
So if you're making the Bengals, they lost. Their color was the most in that. If that's what you're primarily going to see, you're probably more likely to bet on the Bengals. Same with the Eagles. They were on fire. They have the most color in that stat line. You probably would have bet on the Eagles.
Yeah, that makes sense. And for the record, Cassie, no, I'm not a Swiftie. Not a Swiftie. If anything, I like her old music when she first came. Right, when she first came out, when she first started in the music industry, her country music, not pop. Different story. But I really, what? Her original stuff was country music.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't listen.
She was I used to listen to radio a lot, okay? And country music was what my thing back in the day. Dave hates it.
Okay. Yeah. You got it.
I'm not a Swiftie. Don't trigger me. God.
No, he's triggered.
Trigger.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So you've heard it from us. I don't think some of the stuff that people are putting out there right now, like those ads and everything, I think, at this point, I can't say that it's scripted, right?
Yeah.
The best I can tell you right now is there's things that the refs are doing.
Oh, yeah.
There's odd stat lines with Vegas. In case you didn't know, in 2000, I think it was 2021, the NFL partnered with FanDuel, DraftKings. There's 4 sports betting companies that the NFL partnered with. The NFL used to be anti-gambling, right?
Very.
And now they're all for it.
Yeah.
And the players still can't gamble,
Gee.
but the NFL can still work with these companies that promote gambling.
Because of how much money they make.
Exactly.
Like, can you imagine? Like, okay, the players can't gamble, but does that mean someone tied to the organization can't gamble?
No, nobody can gamble.
Like, you're telling me that, like, let's say the brother of a coach can't gamble?
They could gamble, but here's the thing: like, are they gambling for a certain player or for their brother? Because that's how Calvin Ridley got caught. Somebody else was placing the bets for him.
I mean, sure,
and he
we'll
got
go with
suspended for a year, an entire year. And he wasn't
can't
even
do that.
betting on his own team. He was betting on a different team.
Well, I mean,
Now, conspiracy theorists would probably say, well, if he was betting on other teams, it's probably because he read the script. That's probably why they can't gamble.
I mean, it kind of makes sense personally, but then we have people in Congress that do it all the time. Sorry, not sorry.
No, you're fine. Another little tidbit that I think a lot of people are jumping on is the fact that the NFL is listed as an entertainment company.
Yeah, that's fair.
And this is a big one. Another company that is being associated with that is the WWE.
Yes.
And wrestling. Everybody outside of Cassie knows that wrestling is fake.
Everyone outside of Cassie. Wait, it's fake? What?
Yeah, the
What?
stories are made
know.
up. It is all scripted.
Oh
they
my
know
God.
who's gonna win.
Yeah, and I was let down every single time John Cena lost to Randy Orton. Oh, it would make me so mad. Back in the day.
No.
That's what lost me, is because John Cena kept losing to Randy Orton, and I was like, well, can't do this anymore. They just love him.
Well, John
Stupid.
Cena used to cry a lot, but you couldn't see it.
Woo!
What? This is not a you can't see me. This is him wiping away tears.
Jesus Christ. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh my god. All
That's
right.
good. I could make wrestling puns all night.
So with the NFL being labeled as an entertainment company now, a lot of people are speculating, well, that gives them legalities to fix the games and
You
to
would think.
script it out.
Yeah.
But that's actually not correct.
Oh.
That is actually not correct.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, it is entertainment, so it should be classified as entertainment. Just
Well, they're not just entertainment.
fair.
They actually have 2 classifications. Now, the entertainment side comes because the NFL promotes its players. It has the video games. It has they rent out the stadiums for events like concerts and stuff like that. That has to be registered as entertainment,
Yeah, absolutely.
and that's why they have that entertainment label or
I
registration.
wonder if that's also a tax thing.
Maybe
I wonder if it's because it's entertainment, like it's a little different. But
it might also change.
I don't know.
Might also change the insurance.
Yeah, true. Ooh, good point. That's a very fair point. And how much money? Well, I wouldn't say how much money these guys make, but they make a lot of money. A lot of money. It's nuts how much money people make off of NFL. Yeah,
So I'm going to read a quick article. Real quick,
go for it.
about the gambling thing.
Okay.
About the NFL. NFL embracing it. So this is from the, I guess the Associated Press here.
Okay.
It says gambling has gone from the forbidden topic in the NFL to a key part of the league's present and future. The days of lobbying against widespread legalized sports betting, preventing broadcast partners from even discussing point spreads, and even prohibiting players from holding a fantasy football convention because it was at a casino are firmly in the past. With a team playing in Vegas just a short walk from the casinos on the Strip, sponsorship deals with gambling companies who pay millions for in-game advertisements, and teams having sports books next to their stadiums, the relationship between America's richest sports league and gambling is stronger than ever.
Yep.
The NFL has evolved quickly with the growing importance of sports betting on the overall ecosystem, said Robert Fishman, a senior analyst with MoffettNathanson, a division of SVB Securities. Sports betting is continuing to grow in importance and will continue to be a driver of growth. We're still in the very early days, and there will be a natural evolution of how this continues to grow.
Stupid.
And the growth has been astronomical. I mean,
fast. Super. I mean, I wonder how much. I'm curious to see how much money Kansas has raked in 1 year of legal sports betting. I'm really curious to see how much they really make. It's going to be it's going to be interesting to see.
So more than 30 states and Washington, D.C. allow sports betting either online or in person, with several more set to join them in the next few years. The NFL is doing its best to capitalize on that, just a handful of years after Commissioner Roger Goodell sent a letter to the court considering the overturning of PASPA that said sports betting threatens to damage irreparably the integrity of and public confidence in NFL football.
Yep.
So let's see. While there have been some issues like star receiver Calvin Ridley getting suspended for the season, it has been a relatively smooth evolution. Let's see. Let me fast forward through this a little bit. So the NFL has signed deals with DraftKings, FanDuel, and Caesars Entertainment that reportedly could be worth about $1 billion for the league over 5 years. Those companies have fueled an advertising spending spree that saw gambling companies spend $129 million in advertising during NFL games during the 2021 season. Research from that Moffitt company shows that legalized sports betting revenue in the U.S. grew from less than $500 million in 2019, in the first year after the thing was overturned, to more than $3 billion in 2021.
Wow.
That's a big jump.
That's a big jump. My God.
The company projects that the legalized sports betting market will generate $12 billion in revenue in 2025.
And people wonder where like money transfers happen. Like, to me, I feel like betting, as far as like gambling and stuff, is huge wealth transfers in each state that legalizes it.
Yeah.
Each one. It's like the closest we have in Missouri is like, there are some casinos obviously in some cities because they're on the river, but or next to a river. I'm not sure the whole clause about that, but like, and then not the clause but the rule. But yeah, it's huge wealth transfers, and people wonder where all their money's going. Gee, I wonder where.
Yeah. So, there's a little bit of a serious side to whether or not the NFL is scripted, and before I go into that, I want you guys to ask yourselves, who would be able to, control all of this, control the betting, controlling the referee play calling, the penalty calls or missed calls, and who would be able to work with the NFL in writing this script? Like, it's down to like two different groups, right? You have the Illuminati, and everybody's probably going to think, the Illuminati, but also the mafia.
Yeah.
All that sports betting is coming straight out of Vegas. And if you are a fan of the mob, you know that the mob went from the East Coast over to Las Vegas and took over all the casinos and started up all the casinos there, all the betting and everything. That's all mafia, guys. That's all mafia.
Yeah. They had to start business somewhere else.
Yeah. So this is from 2019. I'll read this for you guys. So an NFL entertainment lawyer who has worked for the corporation for more than 15 years has been found dead in New York City hours after telling reporters that Super Bowl 52 is rigged. Dan Goodes, or Goods, I don't know, it's good with an ES, was found dead in his hometown of New York City in what early reports described as a gangland-style execution, hours after blowing the whistle on the rigged Super Bowl. He said, at some point, you need to understand the NFL is a $35 billion shared revenue corporation. Outcomes can't be left to chance. Total league revenues are shared equally by all franchises, so they don't care who wins or loses. Let me be perfectly clear here. It doesn't matter to the franchise owners. It doesn't matter to the players, but it matters to the league. Outcomes have been fixed to maximize profits ever since my early days here. The sad thing is that it's legal. Can you believe that? It's legal thanks to guys like me, entertainment lawyers.
Yeah.
Explaining that the NFL is officially registered as entertainment, Goodes said the NFL has more in common with the WWE than you could possibly imagine. The NFL possesses an antitrust exemption to the law granted to it by President John F. Kennedy, which ultimately allows the NFL to classify itself as entertainment rather than sport, as well as incorporate itself as a single entity instead of the 32 separate franchises they would want you to believe. In 2004 lawsuit, the NFL argued that they are not a collection of 32 teams in competition with each other. They argued they are a single entity, providing entertainment in the marketplace, and as such, they are not subject to antitrust laws. The only other sport that occupies this legal position is the WWE.
It makes sense to me, though, with the WWE because it's each individual players as compared to huge teams.
Yeah.
So, and there's the thing is, like, from my understanding, it's kind of like the NFL as a whole, let's just say, the NFL as a whole is like the feds, right?
Yeah.
Like the organization of the NFL. And then you have your subsections of the NFL, which is more like your states, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where each organization, Chiefs, Ravens, San Francisco, what have you, they all have certain rules and stuff. But then there's like this commandments list of rules of the NFL that you have to follow. So, whether that be certain rules, that's just like a basic outline of what I'm trying to get at. Nothing like major here, like groundbreaking, but to me, it seems like they should go by more of what the individual teams want instead of the NFL itself.
Well, yeah. If it's a collective, though, let's say every owner is linked by a organization.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Then they're gonna probably profit share.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I do want to bring up some more stuff that
Plus,
has come to light.
That's a lot of tax write-offs too.
Yeah. So, a few years ago, there was a player named Dwight Smith. Dwight Smith was a defensive back for the Tampa Bay Bucks. He had a couple interceptions during the Super Bowl against the Raiders. At that time, John Gruden had left the Raiders and went to the Bucks. Right? Became the Buccaneers coach. And surprisingly, both of his former team and his new team both went to the Super Bowl. And there's some interesting stuff that Dwight Smith says in this radio interview. Like, he's doing this Super Bowl, the Bucks are in, Brady's in the Super Bowl, and for some reason they decided to reach out to Dwight Smith, had him come on the show to do an interview, and Dwight sounded pretty honest with them. And what came out of his mouth actually it sounds like it befuddles the host of the show. I'm just gonna play this for you guys. It's about 3 minutes, so check this out.
Yeah, y'all know all the X's and O's, man. I'm just sitting at home watching. I don't like to get into that because I don't believe the game is really decided on the field. So, I don't get into all the X's and O's and talking, man. Like I said, I played in the game. I set a Super Bowl record, and We knew every play they was running before the game started. So, hey, who am I to say?
Well, tell us about that week leading up to the Super Bowl, because that was the big thing. Bill Callahan was the Raiders coach at the time. Obviously, John Gruden had just come over. Tell us about that week of preparation leading up to the game and how it was executed by you guys. I mean, you could know which plays are coming. And
Tim Brown and Jerry Rice come out and say that they made them run Jerry Rice. John Gruden's offense.
Yes.
Yep.
It was his offense, and you guys knew exactly what was coming. Did you know every single play?
They didn't run that offense all year, though. Ain't it odd that you would run it when you're playing against us?
So did you guys know every play before the ball was snapped?
I'm just saying, man, the game ain't decided on the field. That's all I'm going to say. Like I said, I predict who's going to be in the Super Bowl. It ain't about who has the best players. Football is entertainment. So what's the most entertaining Super Bowl? The Bucs in their first one against Patrick Mahomes has nothing to do with if these are the best teams, because we know that these aren't the best teams. The Bucs are not the best NFC team.
So who's the best team in the NFC, in your opinion?
The Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
But the Bucs beat them at Lambeau, though. I mean, the Bucs proved it. They went there. They beat Aaron Rodgers at his place.
You can say what you want, man. Like I say, the game ain't decided on the field.
But the Bucs beat Green Bay like 38-10 at Raymond James Stadium in the regular season.
You're not listening to me, man. You keep saying
So how is it decided then if it's not on the field?
The Giants won the Super Bowl in 2007. I had two pick sixes. One I took back 93 yards, another pick up there in New York. We beat them 40-something. We didn't have Adrian Peterson. They went on to win a Super Bowl. Like, you go for who beat what and how? Like, come on, man. Stop that.
All right, so how do you see this one playing out on Sunday?
It depends on when Vegas make that call. How Vegas ain't going to lose the most money.
So do you think the Bucs' original Super Bowl that you were a part of and won was illegitimate?
I think everyone is.
If you don't mind me asking then, and we obviously appreciate giving us a little bit of time, why do an interview for the Super Bowl if you don't believe that it's set up the right way?
Y'all asked me to. Don't nobody call me no other time until Super Bowl come, right?
No, that's fair. That's a fair statement.
Did anybody, when we got on the phone, say, hey, how's your family doing? How your kids doing? No, none of that matters. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion.
And I appreciate that. We do.
We do.
I mean, that is our job, though, is to talk sports. I mean, it's not personal.
So what is your honest...
job to be real.
Our job to be real.
It's my job to be real.
And Cassie said, repeat the name of the guy that was killed.
It's Dan Goodes or Goods, which I have more on that later in the show here. So Dwight Smith spoke out on a radio show. He seemed pretty convincing. Seems pretty real. And if you're still not convinced, if Dwight Smith is not your cup of tea, how about Arian Foster? Arian Foster was a Texans running back. He was a GOAT for fantasy footballers. Man, he was awesome. Double-digit touchdowns, 1,000-yard seasons. He was good. Hey, Jerry. Arian Foster went on a podcast, and something that they started talking about, the host kind of brought it up because they were talking about it before the show, not on air. So the host kind of brought it up during the show, and I'm just going to let it play. You guys going to hear it. Arian Foster is going to be the one on the right.
On Sunday, Aaron was going to come up and join the live stream with us and watch the football games for Championship Sunday. And he ended up not being able to come up. And then Billy and I got DMs from somebody being like, just FYI, Aaron didn't watch a second of the football games today. I saw him just eating ramen on the Lower East Side. Yo! And, who the fuck? And so me and Billy were like, we know exactly where Arian went.
That checks out.
You went back to the place that we went
back
on Wednesday.
to Mr. Tucker. Absolutely.
What the fuck? Y'all got spies?
Well, dude, think about it.
There's
crazy. Spies everywhere.
This is a city full of almost 10 million people, and somebody sent you a DM saying he's not watching the game.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Imagine if people had direct access to your boss like that and just all of your activities in the off hours. If people see you, just send it straight to them.
I couldn't do it. Yeah.
That's invasive, man.
It's crazy. I get DMs about Billy all the time,
God
about what
damn.
he's doing on any given Friday night.
It's like a little Batman network.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert, he's at a bar. Just saw Billy at a bar. He thinks he's so sweet, but he's actually not. So, Aaron, how was the ramen? Were you there for like 7 hours?
I'm going to
eating
fast
ramen?
forward a little bit.
It was 7 hours. I was there for like about 2 or 3.
Yeah, it is good ramen.
It's great ramen, man. It's good ramen, good company. I was enjoying my time.
Good,
wow,
good.
And I saw part of the first game, and then it was really boring. Especially when the quarterback went out. I'm like, what is this?
That game sucked.
Yeah, it's just one of the worst games I've watched in a long time. And then so I saw like maybe a drive or two of the first game. I was like, I'm just not in the mood for football. I'm gonna go get some ramen.
Yeah, the second game was good. The Bengals-Chiefs game, it was interesting at least.
Yeah.
Some shit happened at the end. So, Aaron, it's funny, before we started taping, Aaron was telling me about how the NFL is rigged and how every year he used to get a script.
Yeah.
Day one of training camp that would get dropped off at his locker. And you would have to, it was like week 1, you'll do this. Week 2, you're going to have a hamstring injury. Week 3, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Week 4, you're going to get 3 touchdowns. And so then you just have to, did you memorize those before the season started, or would you go and rehearse the script before every game?
We were really dedicated to it, so it was more so like that's what practice was about. It was about practicing the script. Like, this is what goes on, and this is what we have to do in order to. Yeah.
And this referee's going to miss this call.
Yeah,
because
we
they
knew.
hate you
Yeah.
and they love the Colts,
Yeah,
that
it's
sort
like,
of thing.
WWF, so it's like, you
Yeah.
know, we know what's going to happen, but you still got to put on a show.
Yeah.
What did you think when you got the script in 2016 that said your career was going to fall off a cliff when you stopped believing in God?
That was 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around
That
there,
was
yeah.
2015, and oddly enough, the script writers, it didn't have anything to do with that actually. It just had more so to do with they needed a change of scenery in Houston.
It was time to go.
Yeah, it was time to go. So they wanted to get everybody out of Houston. That was the ultimate goal. So that was what that was about.
So I can see with the whole injuries thing, especially because we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney came out on his Instagram and just said, "I'm not injured." Like he came out and publicly said that he's not injured, even though he was ruled out injured for the game against Baltimore. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do use their players, not necessarily as pawns, but like, oh, this one's injured. This is like this, especially like, hey, let's give them a break this week. Let's get them ready to go.
Or freeing up a roster spot.
Or freeing up a roster spot for someone else. Absolutely. Making plays like that, I wouldn't be surprised that would happen because, like, it actually it kind of goes along with what my dad said earlier. I was talking to him on the phone. He and I were talking because the biggest thing this season for the Chiefs, the offense has just been horrible. One of the worst off seasons one of the worst, I would say, off seasons for Mahomes as far as the offense, because our receivers can't catch a ball to save their life. And then all of a sudden it comes to the playoffs and we're just firing on all cylinders left and right. My dad was thinking, what if they've been playing down this entire season? This entire season just to play down, because Kelsey was making catches. I don't even know how the hell he was making these catches. Like, he made, I would say, probably about like 3 or 4 solid catches that I'm like, how in the did you catch this?
Right. So now even Franco Harris, the legendary Franco Harris, he back in his day, he was even saying that they're like hinting at there being a script. And I believe, and Larry Johnson, I think, even said something about like where Franco Harris said that the Immaculate Reception was a play that they practiced. That was something that was practiced. That was something scripted. If you don't believe me, here's Larry Johnson, former Kansas City Chiefs running back Larry Johnson. This video is a little bit long. It's another 3-minute video, but interesting things that he had to say about the Chiefs. And Charles, you better pay attention to this one because he's going deep. He's going to go deep.
Are we going to talk about the actual thing that happened?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
We are.
Because I just looked it up too.
I wanted to sizzle a little bit.
Cool. All right, let that sizzle. Cassie, she sizzled. She sizzled for show.
For shizzled.
For shizzles.
All right, check this out.
So Sassy.
I'll give you a little backstory. If you didn't know this, the Dope Walker family and the Hunt family are intermarried together. Hunt meaning the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't like me being there. Every time I told them I was going to show up, this is like between 2015 to 2018, Clark Hunt would not show. Even when a Kansas City Chief football player was getting a Legends Award that same night, he would not show up because I was there. He only showed up one time when I was there, and that's because he thought my plane wasn't going to land. I came late. So of all the things I've been saying about the NFL, that is rigged. Talking about the Hunt family, knee deep in the assassination of JFK, that the NFL is gay. Have I said this in a tweet like August 2020? All of a sudden, they want to award me a special presentation. Just like how Franco Harris did a special interview before he was killed. This is how they get you, you former football players. They get you to show up at interviews. They get you to show up at presentations. And if you don't understand the numerology of anything, this is how they can get you and trap you. I would have gone and wouldn't know. And they could have easily put me in a predicament. I could have been at the bar. I could have been drinking. They could have came to my hotel. Any situation that would have fit my natural foolishness, which means either been drinking or been in a fight with a woman. That would be the only thing they would catch me with, and they would tell you this is how I felt. He died from alcohol poisoning, or he died fighting. And people would have believed it. If I went to that show and y'all would have heard that I got killed, and you would have told you I died by alcohol poisoning or something like that, most of you would have believed it because you know that's usually what I've been in trouble for. This is how they get you. It's kind of comical because once you understand numerology and gematria and they use the same numbers over and over and over again, it becomes pattern recognition. Okay? I've seen a lot of football players die and it be because of numerology. I've seen a lot of celebrities die and it be because of numerology. And it's always when they're by themselves, they're found dead in a hotel, or some craziness that they attach it to. And no one can know what's the real truth because they're really that slick with it if you don't have your eyes open. So it's funny to me that these people do not like me. They do not like me around when I was there. When I was in the world, they didn't want me around. So all of a sudden, they're going to give me a presentation after me saying football been rigged, after me saying their family did everything they did. All this stuff I've been talking that smoke, and they want to invite me into an award show to give me a special award for something.
Yeah, this is stuff off of his Instagram right here. The numerology thing that he was talking about. You'll see a lot of 61, a lot of 33. Like, you'll see it. Ronnie Hillman dead at 31. Like, there's a lot of interesting things that he had to say on his Instagram, but he did throw out there, like, he was a big proponent of the NFL being rigged.
Yeah.
So, and when I saw you perk up whenever he brought up the Kennedy assassination.
Thing.
So there was a special thing. I'd have to look it up again. There was something I should have wrote it down and I didn't.
Yeah,
there was something that the NFL had passed. I think this came from the Trust Act, the antitrust law. Okay. It was something to do with that. 60s? That got passed right after Kennedy's assassination. The NFL was given that status right after Kennedy got assassinated. That's and here's where it gets kind of interesting. So a lot of people believe Kennedy was assassinated by the mafia. The mafia is running the NFL and gambling and all of that, and they want to get something done. They were going to probably off him anyway. Let's throw this in there.
Who ran, you know what? Let's make this connection here. Who ran a lot, and I mean a lot, of dog races and horse races back in the day? Which, just mafia.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
okay.
thought you meant like a certain individual.
No, not a certain individual. I'm just saying the mafia ran and the sports betting.
Yeah.
That went along with those races.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
So let me go ahead and play spoiler here for some of you guys that didn't look this up. So the whole Dan Gould story.
Fake news.
Just fake news. So apparently this has been fact checked by Snopes and all that.
Of course it has.
Yeah. And their language on this is actually pretty interesting to me. They said on January of 2018, website published an article reporting that the NFL entertainment lawyer was found dead hours after telling reporters that the Super Bowl was rigged. What they say is none of this was true. The NFL employs no entertainment lawyer named Dan Goods, nor did anyone by that name recently blow the whistle on rigged football games or die in a gangland-style execution. And then the report was a fabrication, nothing more than a riff on a recent hoax about NFL games being rigged that was published by a fake news website. The article accompanying the photograph of the alleged crime scene was actually lifted from a July 17th news report about a New York police officer who was shot in her patrol car. And you're muted.
I haven't been muted. Okay, whatever. I don't know. Now I don't want to watch the Super Bowl. Hey, it's your own choice. I'm going to Vegas. Watch the Super Bowl.
So, yeah, I mean, it's entertainment.
I'm still excited for the road trip going to Vegas. Like I get to go through Utah. I've never been through Utah. I'm actually pretty excited for that.
So the wording that I liked or I thought was interesting on this was the NFL employs no entertainment lawyer named Dan Goodes. Well, if he was dead, if this was a real person that died, well, of course they would not employ him. He's dead.
Exactly.
But I don't know if he was ever employed with them.
Right.
But I don't know. I just thought that wording was interesting.
It's a little odd.
But, I could see people fabricating stuff like this. This was at a growing time when the rigging was kind of ramping up a little bit, Now, it's not to say that it's not happening, the rigging. As we've talked about with the referees, the blown calls. I was talking to, I wish I had the stats in front of me. I had seen where, 2021 was when they got in line with the sports gambling books or companies. And before then, I think the 25 years before then, there were like 9 games that actually would cover, that have statistically covered the spread set by Vegas. And since 2021, that number has gone up to like that 3-year period, 2-3 year period, it's gone up to like 100 games have covered the spread in the NFL. How that happens, only Vegas knows.
Exactly. Only Vegas knows.
Here's another interesting stat for you. In the past 15 years, only 25 games. There's only been 25 games where a team did not commit a penalty. 48% of those games were led by Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers.
That's going to change this year.
So, I mean, how many of those quarterbacks, or how many Super Bowls have those quarterbacks been in the last 15 years?
3?
In the last 15 years?
Well, technically 4 now.
But Mahomes been in 4?
4.
Brady's been in?
I don't know.
Most of them. And Aaron Rodgers has been in 1.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but you know what? With how red pill Aaron Rodgers has become.
I'm waiting for him to say something on
That's
this
what
matter.
I was just about to lead to. I was like, do you think he's going to say something eventually?
I think he would. I don't think he's afraid to. But if it's like Benny Cunningham at the beginning of the show stated, if they have to sign like an NDA or non-disclosure thing, they could be sued.
Their life is on the line.
Their life is on the line. And would somebody risk it?
With that much money, too, being at play.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, would they risk it? I don't know if we'll ever hear. I mean, we'll hear from NFL players, former NFL players. And what's going to happen is going to be like Antonio Brown or Chandler Jones, people with CTE, like saying stuff. And people are going to be like, oh, they got CTE. They're crazy.
Okay, so what about like the life-altering injuries that players sustain.
I mean, it's like wrestling. They're
They still
physically
happen.
doing stuff, you know.
Yeah, okay, cool. I was just making sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because to me, then they have to just change this whatever script. They just plug person A with person B. And
I was watching a video where some of the NFL players were being asked about what they think about the NFL being scripted, and I think it was George Kittle who said, "So they scripted us to lose our two quarterbacks in the playoffs,
right?
To have no quarterback." I mean,
right?
It's just, I think that's just happenstance, and it just blows the line for Vegas on that game.
Yeah, that's true.
Vegas is going to lose some money somewhere, but they want to minimize that.
And they do that with the games they rig.
Yeah.
I personally, for myself, I don't think it's necessarily scripted. Like, I don't think it's necessarily like
there's a
this
difference.
is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. But I do believe that the refs are swayed by money too much, or personal interest, and I think the refs affect games way too much, too much, with any single calls they have.
This is what it boils down to for me. Like, there is a difference between scripted and rigged.
Yes.
Right. Where scripted, they know what they're going to do, what's the outcomes, all that
Right.
stuff. Rigged would be like with the officiating, either being paid off or part of the whole sports books thing.
Hey, call a holding call on this. We know they're holding the entire game, but go ahead and call it for this crucial play.
Yeah. Set them back an extra 10 yards. Maybe they will get it and
make them lose
cover
the
spread.
touchdown.
Get them out of field goal range. If they can't kick that field goal, we cover the spread.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I think that happens. And I think that's a problem. And they keep talking about ways how they could fix the refs, the whole ref situation. And they're like, make them full-time refs. Like, they can't work their other jobs if they're doing being a referee, so they could focus on refereeing or take training to be a ref. That ain't going to help it.
I think what needs to happen is I think coaches should be able to challenge refs' calls no matter
one challenge.
what.
Give them one challenge a game.
Yes, one challenge to make, like, are you sure he's holding on that? Send it up to the booth or wherever.
To New York.
Yeah, send it to New York and figure it out. And then you'll really start to figure out if stuff's rigged. Because
they'll replay the shit out of that on
absolutely,
TV
absolutely.
And if they blow the call again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To me, and plus, like, I can understand where refs are only human. Sometimes people make mistakes.
Yes.
But that clear thing where the ref clearly bumped the guy and then gave him a personal foul call, that's friggin' stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That's way too much power, way too much personal interest, like personal feelings.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand the refs. And I'm sure I'm not the only NFL fan that feels that way. And I'm not saying it just because the Chiefs, but you pick any freaking game, and there's always something going on with the refs in every
This year
single
it seemed
game.
like there was at least one horrible call per game.
Exactly.
Horrible call. Jerry says, I think
some career-ending hits are paid for. Yeah.
Some of them probably are,
I
but
can see that.
there's sometimes so as a Bears fan, I watched Johnny Knox. This is back in the early 2000s. Johnny Knox was a receiver of ours. A lot of potential. Guy was fast, had good hands. He was diving for a ball, and somebody dove at him and bent him backwards. His head touched his ass.
Ooh.
Broke his back. I know, like, a friend of mine's sister is a, I don't know if she's still with them.
People aren't supposed to.
She was a physical. She was a massage therapist for the Chicago Bears. She hooked me up some tickets, but she's met Johnny Knox, and I've met some people that know Johnny Knox, and Johnny Knox can walk somewhat fine now, but he has a lot of problems. So, like, I think while I agree with the career-ending hits are paid for, there's targeting that happens. I mean, just look at James Harrison. Jesus. The Bounty Gate, the Seattle, the New Orleans Saints, where they were having people hit. Was it Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers or somebody? They were trying to knock people out of the games. They were getting paid by the coaching staff to do that, and they got in a lot of trouble. But there's some injuries though, like it's just part of the game. It's like being a wrestler. If you got body slammed the wrong way, you got paralyzed. I mean, shit. It was your time to get paralyzed, I guess. But some things can't be scripted.
That's true. That is very, very true.
But
but yeah, it just gets real nasty.
Oh yeah,
real nasty. And I just feel bad for people. Like, I never want people to get hurt ever.
Right. I think, like I said, you know, I think there is an element of mafia control in this. I just don't think that it's to the point of scripting the games.
Yes, and when refs make horrible calls, you got to deal with the fallout of that call. That individual ref needs to deal with the fallout of that call.
I can't imagine
if the announcers on TV are like, "Yeah, I don't know why that call was made," or "This clearly happened," like, then it makes sense.
Like, we were watching some of these games, like the Eagles and Chiefs this year.
Oh yeah,
when Mahomes got hit out of bounds, but he was clearly inbounds before he got hit, and then that pass interference call.
Oh yeah,
like 2 ridiculous calls. They even played it back on the big board, and you could hear the crowd. The refs should be able to change that. I don't even think it was
was it even a Chiefs home game or was it an away game? I think it was.
It was an away game.
Yeah.
It was away.
And that's unfortunately that's just how it is, and that's like, on one hand it sucks, but then for the other team it's good. Like, it's stupid, but I think calls like that should be able to be challenged.
I think like with the challenging thing, like if we could challenge them, I think a lot of people, well, media would be like, oh, this will extend the games too long, and it's kind of how they complain about baseball doing challenges.
Sure.
They're like, this is gonna like drag the games on and stuff. You know what? At this point, I think NFL fans are so tired of the damn horrible calls.
Yes.
They don't care.
No,
we don't care.
If you don't want to watch the game, don't freaking watch it.
But like, I would rather them take the time to get the call right.
Yes.
Than just piss everybody off and screw a team out of a win. But what do you guys think? Tell us down in the comments under the video, not just in the chat, but under the video. Yeah. Do you think it's scripted, or do you think it's the refs are bought and paid for, or do you think there's nothing wrong with the NFL? You didn't think the mafia still existed? Just live in a very different part of the U.S.
I think in a way they still exist.
Oh, they still exist. You just don't see it. You don't hear about it. You don't. Yeah.
It's not like your bread and butter mafia back in the days of prohibition with alcohol and stuff like that. It's very different.
Like holding people up by their ankles. You better give me all your money on Tuesday, you see?
Yeah, exactly. Like that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's definitely, I mean, you can consider some of these other groups like a mafia, like Freemasons.
In a way, yes. I see where you're going.
Scientologists.
And yeah, exactly. Now, I will say, if you are a big NFL fan, I do want to plug a friend of mine here. He's just starting out with a podcast. Its name is Chiefs Kingdom War Council. Again, it can be found on Spotify, Amazon Music, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. So if you want to hear some new stuff and some takes by him, which I trust anything he has to say about the Chiefs, he knows a lot more than a lot of people that I know, and they know a lot. Like, I trust everything he has to say, and he's doing a really good job, and I can't wait to hear more stuff that he has and for him to get a bigger following and stuff. So again, it's Chiefs Kingdom War Council on Spotify, Amazon, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio, and there's going to be iTunes support coming soon. And also, if you happen to be anywhere near Lebanon, Missouri on February 23rd and 24th, come out to the Midwest Bushcrafting Show. Our friend Jason Kupsik is putting it on, and I went to last year's. It was a lot of fun. Learn about bushcrafting. There's going to be a lot of different vendors and stuff. You can buy different materials and stuff like that. I'll be there actually camping that weekend as well. I'll be camping outdoors with Jason and a few others. It'll be a great time. So come on out, see Jason, see myself, come say hi. You don't have to come camping. You can just come out and support the vendors and stuff. So it'll be in Lebanon, Missouri at the Riverfront Campground and Canoe on February 23rd and 24th. I think that's about all I got.
I think next week we should do a paranormal game night.
Next week?
I think we're due.
It has been a while. That's the 5th. That'd be great. That'll be the week before I go to Vegas. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Isn't the mafia our elected officials?
Well, they're controlling our elected officials. Yes.
What? We elect officials? Oh, it's a different story for another day.
It's a whole different story.
No.
Whole different story.
But yeah, guys, next week we'll do a paranormal game night. Be a lot of fun if you haven't done one. They are super fun. Okay, I'm not
Bring
bragging.
your trivia hats.
Yes, bring your eyeballs. I am going to do another real or faked. That's why I said
Sounds great.
You bring your eyeballs.
I would hope they bring their eyeballs. They're gonna kind of need to see to, to have fun, I guess. But I mean, they don't need to see. But I guess they'll need to see for the fake or
I just thought of another point I wanted to make, and I didn't make it. About the scripted thing. If the NFL was scripted, why the hell are they? And they want to make the most money. Why the hell are they not having their major markets be winners? New York, the Giants suck. The Jets suck. Chicago sucks. LA sucks. Like, those are the most populous cities. They have the largest fan bases.
True.
Why are they not winning if you want to make as much money as you want?
Who knows? Because people, they're still going to bet on their teams no matter what.
I'll tell you why. Why? Controlling volatility. The volatile nature of volatile. Like, certain areas of the country, if they feel they're getting too volatile, they'll give them like these winning teams to help kind of sedate it. Possibly.
If NFL was not scripted, Houston would be winning. We signed so many football players. You're not
Houston
wrong.
did good.
Not wrong. They
Houston
did
was in
pretty
the
good
playoffs.
this year.
Yeah.
They just couldn't make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Stroud had a great year. With next to no receivers. It was a young team. Absolutely young team. And I have high hopes. I have high hopes for Houston. The Mafia can hide better in Middle America. Yeah.
That's right. We are due. Chiefs are due.
The Bears are due is what she's saying.
Oh, okay.
She's a Chicago fan, too.
Yeah, it's true. We didn't have Taylor Swift, so...
Yeah.
Hey, RC, I don't know if you missed it earlier, but
you guys can have
Marley.
What? You could have Miley Cyrus.
That's a whole different story. RC, I don't know if you heard it earlier, but I made the comment. I was like, Taylor, in her first year, Taylor Swift has made it to the Super Bowl before the Cowboys. I don't care. I really don't care.
I'm telling my boss that tomorrow.
All the Cowboy haters, do it, please. Oh my God. And I wanted you to tell me his reaction. I gotta know.
He's a Chiefs fan. He'll enjoy it.
Oh, okay, good.
But yeah.
All right, well.
All right, guys.
Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for being here with us, and we'll see y'all next week on the Paranormal Game Night.
Booyah.